Good morning, I'm Gilad Milan, and thanks for joining us for Mornings on the Hill.
And I'm Faith Kane. Here's a look at some of the stories we'll be talking about in our first half hour.
The clock is ticking. Commencement is just 18 days away. We'll have everything you need to know before you walk down the aisle.
The New York State Department of Transportation says the community grid is the best option for I-81. But what does the university think? Reporter Kendra Sheehan found out.
And every college student knows that freshman year comes with many highs and lows. We'll take a closer look at how this year met their expectations.
All that plus your weather and orange sports coming up on this edition of Mornings on the Hill.
Our top story this hour, and I can't believe I'm saying this, Faith, but commencement is just a little over 2 weeks away.
And while you're swamped finishing end of semester projects and studying for finals, you might not have much time to think about the details of graduation. Mornings on the Hill, Ashton Hiron joins us live with everything you need to know before the big day. Good morning, Ashton.
Morning, guys. As you're counting down the days till graduation, I'm sure you've heard the words commencement and convocation floating around. You may have even downloaded the SU Commencement app. But there's a few important things that you need to do to make sure that degree lands safely in your hot little hands. Preparing for graduation is different for everyone, but the one and most important thing that remains constant
is filing your diploma request. That is what sets off the domino effect for everything else for commencement weekend. So you do that on your MySlice, and once you do that, then you are automatically put in the queue for your cap and gown. So you do not need to order your cap and gown separately if you're an undergrad.
Masters and PhD students order regalia that is specifically fitted for them, meaning they must know their sizes of their cap and gown before they put their order in. So I'm graduating this spring, so let's give it a try. Looks like I'm about 24 inches around the head. And when you're measuring your head, it's totally okay to ask for help. Even some of our Morning on the Hill correspondents, like Fernando, needs help measuring his head for his graduation cap.
How much is it?
You're about 24.5 inches.
Thank you.
So what's the difference between convocation and commencement?
Convocations are your school or college ceremony in which you're individually recognized and you cross the stage, your parents can go crazy, you get the picture with the dean. The commencement ceremony is university-wide, which means there's about 5,000 students and 18,000 people attending the Dome, give or take.
This is where the Chancellor will confer the degrees of all the graduates.
Syracuse University as a whole does not give tickets for convocations or any ceremonies. So come one, come all. Our venues are plenty big.
Both ceremonies are optional, but with the celebratory nature of graduation, Riffle suggests going to both. You can visit the SU Commencement website. The commencement speaker this year is Mary Daly, SU graduate of the class of '94. Daly is president and CEO of the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco. For all the graduating seniors and master's students here in our newsroom, for one last time, reporting live, I'm Ashton Hiron for Mornings on the Hill.
Thanks, Ashton, and hopefully the weather on commencement day is nice, but time for a check on today's weather.
Kylan Watson is live out on University Ave to tell us what to expect.
Hey, thanks, Faith and Gilad. Guys, if you're like me, you turn your heat down because yesterday it was pretty nice outside. Well, I'm here to tell you, turn your heat back up, get your jackets on because it's kind of chilly out here. It's starting out at 43 degrees early in the morning. Late in the morning, as you may be heading for a class or a morning meeting, it'll be 43 and cloudy. On your way back from class, it will be 45, and around 3 p.m. where you may be picking the kids up from school, it'll be 48 degrees. That's your high. Late tonight, it will be 44 degrees with a 10% chance of rain. So, Gilad and Faith, people need to grab their jackets. And coming up at 10:30, I will tell you what the forecast is looking like for Mayfest and Block Party. But here's a little preview. You might want to get on your Rihanna and grab your umbrella because, a la Game of Thrones, the forecast is dark and full of terror/rain. So, for Mornings on the Hill, I'm Kylan Watson. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Kylan. There's construction happening all across campus, but students walking along Comstock Avenue this week may have noticed yet another new project.
The road repairs are part of the city's bike network project. The project's goal is to improve bike lanes around the University Hill area. The work on Comstock is being done between Waverly and Euclid. Cars can still drive down Comstock, but parts of some lanes are still closed.
Some sidewalk corners will also be closed off. Students living on Comstock should get used to the sound of drilling. The university says the construction will last until the end of July.
It's the final days of the current Student Association's term.
Some of SA's biggest initiatives this year were discussing Shine renovations, helping students who couldn't move into the Marshall at the start of the year, and implementing medical amnesty, which protects students who call ambulances for someone who's drunk.
Ongoing SA President Gufran Salih says the initiative she's most proud of is gender-neutral bathrooms in Krause College.
My roommates brought it up to me, the fact that the bathroom is inaccessible in their college because they spend so much time there, and there's not one in the basement where the practice rooms are, and that bathroom represents a lot more than just like having a space for someone to relieve themselves. It's accessible and it's gender neutral.
Next year's SA president will be Mackenzie Murtica. Salih says a big focus of that administration will be increasing diversity and making it easier for students to get jobs on campus. And the future of downtown Syracuse portion of Interstate 81 has been the topic of numerous news and opinion articles for the past few years. It represents a critical decision for Central New York.
The options range from rebuilding the existing highway to building a tunnel to creating a community grid. But on Monday, the New York State Department of Transportation announced its choice. Our Kendra Sheehan joins us live in studio with Syracuse University's latest announcement on the topic.
Thanks a lot, Faye. Political figures, businesses, and neighborhoods have all endorsed their respective opinions for what lawmakers should do about I-81. And now SU is joining in, announcing its support for the community grid.
Last week, Chancellor Kent Severud emailed the SU campus and announced that after evaluating all social, economic, and cultural options, Syracuse University would support the community grid. Civil and environmental engineering professor Charles Driscoll says the university made the right choice.
I think to me it makes sense that the university supports the community grid. We're right adjacent to Route 81. We're hugely impacted by it.
Faculty and SU students like Brian Sanchez think this decision is a step in the right direction.
I think it's very important that this university finds a way to actually connect itself with the community, even if it means physically putting itself at the crossroads of the whole system.
I'm hoping it will improve the connections between the university and the community and provide good opportunities for students to take advantage of the community.
Other students like Jonathan LaRoe were happy the university finally took a position.
I guess, as you said, they wanted to be very thorough, but I think that people were wondering what their response was and why it took so long. So it's not a surprise move. I think the only surprising thing about it was what took so long.
I think it's a great opinion. I'm happy that they endorse the community grid. I wish it'd come a lot sooner.
Said the current I-81 viaduct divided the campus from the city and decreased economic value to neighborhoods near SU. Many are excited to be moving forward with this community grid option. Reporting live in studio, I'm Kendra Sheehan for Mornings on the Hill.
Certainly a big step in a process that's been going on for years. Thanks, Kendra. Coming up here on Mornings on the Hill, see how some SU students have gotten an early start to their graduation celebrations.
Also coming up, how early is too early for a college visit? Our Alexandria Bennett will sit down with someone who hosted these young prospective students. Stay with us for those stories and much more here on Mornings on the Hill.
We're in the midst of the first ever Stand Against Racism Week in Syracuse. The announcement was made yesterday by Mayor Ben Walsh and Onondaga County Executive Ryan McMahon.
Hundreds of people showed their support in yesterday's walk against racism. The march ended at City Hall, where Walsh and McMahon were waiting. The
event was hosted by the YWCA of Syracuse and was co-sponsored by a handful of organizations in the area. Several SU students had the chance to speak as well. Stand Against Racism Week runs until next Tuesday. There are only 18 days left until graduation, and I'm sure everyone is excited to grab their caps and gowns.
Seniors can pick those up starting on Monday, May 6th, but student athletes had a chance to pick up their graduation essentials early during the second annual Student Athlete Senior Send-Off.
Athletes who are finishing up their career on the Hill celebrated their athletic and academic success in the Carrier Dome Monday night. Student speakers and professional basketball player Brittany Sykes spoke to give some encouragement before the walk on the big stage on May 12th.
Student athletes were also treated to mentoring sessions on how to stay active and nutritious without SU athletics. Like many students, the athletes may not be sure what's next.
I don't really know what to do with myself, honestly. but I'm glad that I came here, and I feel like I had a great experience that I don't regret it.
The ceremony ended with hats thrown in the air and a final group photo, which will be placed on the wall in the Stevenson Academic Center.
And the Syracuse men's basketball team has renovated its player lounge.
And the upgrade has a special dedication. The lounge has been renovated in honor of longtime SU Administrative Assistant Kelly Subert. Subert worked with the basketball program for 13 years before losing her battle with cancer in 2017. In the lounge is a plaque commemorating Subert with Coach Jim Boeheim's words declaring Subert to be, quote, the heart and soul of our basketball program.
SU Board of Trustee member Joyce Hergenhain came up with the idea to find a way to permanently honor Subert's place within the program. She donated an undisclosed amount.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Proya, and this is your Orange Buzz Report. What's trending here on campus on social media? Well, SU's annual Mayfest and block party will be happening Friday, and of course, there's lots of buzz surrounding it. Saza took to Twitter to say, the weather for Friday is really going to be trash, and I can't believe Mother Nature is doing this for my last Mayfest. Well, as Kylan told us outside, it's going to be rainy, but you don't have to wear a turtleneck like Kylan did. It's going to be warm on Friday, which is probably going to be the warmest day this weekend. And Twitter user Mudslide took to Twitter to ask, can I bring a fanny pack to Mayfest? Serious replies only. Well, according to the Mayfest rules, you are allowed to bring small bags to Walnut Park, but those bags will be searched. Large backpacks and purses are not allowed inside. And later Friday evening, Khalid will be headlining Block Party at the Dome. And Ella took to Twitter to say, if anyone knows or is selling 3 Khalid concert tickets for his concert in Syracuse on Friday, please contact me. Well, Ella, I have good news for you. Tickets are still available at the Shine box office. They're $20 for students. And Gabby took to Twitter to share a cute story. I was talking about how I really want to go to Khalid's concert in Syracuse, and tickets are only $50, and my nephew immediately ran into his room to bring all of the money he's been saving. How sweet is that? Well, I hope, Gabby, that you and your nephew get to go. That's your Orange Buzz. I'm Olivia from Mornings on the Hill.
Syracuse University is about to host its 21st Shadow Day. Each year, it's a chance for local 5th graders to visit campus and get a taste of what college is like.
Our Alexandria Bennett is live in studio this morning with a first-year student that is participating in Shadow Day and who has a special connection to the event.
Thanks, Galat and Faith. I'm joined this morning by Ashleekwa Menifee. Thank you so much for coming to share your story with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
And you're a first-year student, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what are you studying?
I'm studying forensic sociology.
Forensic sociology?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do with that?
I think criminal profiling, but I'm not sure.
Okay, cool. So I know tomorrow you will have the opportunity to have some 5th graders from Seymour Dual Language Academy come and hang out with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that when you were a 5th grader, you also got the opportunity to come to this campus. So can you talk a little bit about how that experience was?
For me, I think overall, I vaguely remember it, but overall the experience, just being able to come up here and seeing how things work and what people do here, just inspires you to do better. So
yeah. And were you born and raised in Syracuse?
Yes.
Okay, so as you got older, I know when you're in 5th grade, you're not really sure what college you want to go to. So as you got older, how did you decide what college you were going to attend?
Well, for me, I was mostly applying to SUNY and CUNY schools. And then my advisor told me maybe you should apply to a bigger school. So I applied to here and to Howard.
Oh,
and then, and then when I got my financial aid package for Howard, I kind of got discouraged. I'm like, oh, I can't afford that, But then once I got it for SU, it was kind of a relief because it was way cheaper and it was affordable for my parents.
Yeah. So were you thinking that you wanted to stay close to home?
Well, my mom always has this, I'm the only child for my mom. So at home, it's just me and her. So she always wants me to be 5 hours away. What if anything happens to you? How long is it going to take me to get there?
Yeah.
So when I was younger, I would say I want to go to UCLA. I want to go far away. So her thing is she just wanted me to stay close. So it kind of works for both of us.
Okay, cool. I can understand that because you want to be close to family. I know being that you were once a 5th grader and you were in the shoes of those who will be shadowing you tomorrow, what is your hope? What do you hope they take away from Shadow Day?
I just hope that they just like they take away that anything's possible. Like as long as you put your mind to what you want to do, like don't let financial barriers be like a problem. Like don't always think like this can happen, so I shouldn't pursue it.
Yeah.
Just try.
Because I know it can be a struggle thinking about I want to go to the school, but can I afford it?
Yeah.
Can I not? But you take the opportunity anyway, especially if it's presented.
Exactly.
I know that a lot of people are preparing for graduation, but you are coming to the end of your freshman year. So can you talk a little bit about how your freshman year experience has been?
Well, the beginning was kind of rocky because I was kind of just like putting my feet in and like figuring out like what I wanted to do.
Okay.
My freshman major was biology, and then like after my first semester, I'm like, oh, I do not like this.
Science is not fun.
It's just kind of like a whole transition for me. So yeah.
So what initially got you interested in biology?
I don't know. It's kind of like when I was in high school, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. So I'm like, maybe I can do like toxicology. And then it was kind of like, I don't really want to do this. So it was kind of just something that kind of interested me that I thought I would like. So I kind of went with it, but then I didn't. Yeah, it didn't work.
And going back to Shadow Day, what are you most excited for?
I'm mostly excited just to meet the students and have them like, just to talk to them, eat lunch with them, and just experience it the other way around, I guess.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you, Ashley, so much for joining me. I'm Alexandria Bennett for Mornings on the Hill. And just ahead on Mornings on the Hill, with the school year coming to a close, Tamar Turner checks in with freshmen to see if their first year matched their expectations. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, and with the 2018-2019 school year winding down, what better way to recap than through reflection, but not just any reflection.
That's right. We want to hear from our freshmen around campus whether their first year met their expectations or exceeding them. I mean, I remember my freshman year, and that was a rough year, but, you know, glad to almost make it to the end.
Yeah, hopefully these freshmen had a good year. Tamar Turner joins us live in the studio with the story.
Thank you, guys. So we've all been somewhere for the first time and have had to adjust ourselves accordingly. So whether that be a new city, a new neighborhood, or in this case for the freshmen, a new school. Everyone has their own way of taking on new experiences. But what about the freshmen here at Syracuse?
Imagine stepping foot onto Syracuse University's campus as a freshman with the hopes of spending your next 4 years here. It is only natural to have a culmination of emotions and expectations.
Coming in, I was expecting a lot, obviously, and my classes definitely met those expectations. We have a great staff here. A lot of the professors are as good as they get. We get people who worked in the industry, people who have had that hands-on experience.
And while nothing is wrong with setting the bar high, reaching the top may not always be easy.
My first semester was kind of rough, honestly, at least for the first month or so. It was a big adjustment. I came here with only one other person from my high school, and we weren't really that close. We were school friends, I'd say. So it was hard to kind of find myself and find this new home away from home.
And for those out there who may not know where to start, you are not alone.
Everyone else is in the same boat as you. Everyone else is looking to get involved, obviously in the same organizations as you, or, you know, they're having the same fears as you. So, you know, don't be afraid to just, you know, go introduce yourself to a fellow student or a club that you're interested in.
But as time goes on, you'll find that making the necessary adjustments wasn't so hard after all.
Second semester, once you kind of get in your groove, you're having a lot more fun, you know what I mean? You're not worrying about like the little things that come with the adjustment period when you're coming into Syracuse.
So no matter which route you take when you arrive in Syracuse, always remember,
just like work hard, but also like get involved in things.
There's a lot going on at all times, but like don't let that scare you from getting involved.
This is when you're going to take your first step into adulthood, when you're going to reach out and you're really going to become who you want to be. So take your classes seriously, but also make sure you get involved.
So with new projects and initiatives being put in place, SU says it's moving in a direction to focus more on its students, both current and incoming. Reporting live in studio, I'm Tamar Turner from Mornings on the Hill.
And as we get ready to leave, it's great to hear about their first year experiences. I think the best part of freshman year for me was that everything was a new and different experience. Every time you did something, it was the first time you ever did it.
It was amazing also, you know, just kind of getting out of the house. And I went to a small town. We had no cell phone reception, and only 600 kids went to our school at a junior college in Kansas. So it was definitely a brand new experience for me.
Certainly. And before we leave you today on our show, we We have some fun news for you. Big news for Hamilton fans in Syracuse, actually. One of Broadway's most popular shows is coming to Central New York.
The Tony Award-winning musical is coming to Syracuse for the 2020-2021 season. No specific dates nor locations have been announced. There's limited information, but you can find it at BroadwayInSyracuse.com.
And I've always wanted to see Hamilton. I'm from New York City, so easy access to the show, but not easy access to the tickets, that's for sure.
Oh, I completely agree. I love Broadway shows, and it's just amazing to see what they can do on stage.
Definitely is. That'll do it for us this morning. I'm Gilat Malamed. Thanks for watching Orange Nation.
And I'm Faith Kane. Don't go away. Mornings on the Hill continues right after the break. Abby, Kayla, and the rest of our team will be back with much more.
Good morning, I'm Abigail Fridman. Thanks for joining us for Mornings on the Hill.
And I'm Kayla Burton. Here's a look at some of the stories we'll be talking about in our second half hour.
It's the last push before summer break, and finals are right around the corner. Find out what students and experts are saying about stress.
Students may plan to shake off the stress of finals by attending Mayfest this weekend. We have the event details and where you can and can't park.
And SU recently announced a new partnership that will give law students from different schools the opportunity to earn their degree faster.
All that plus your weather and orange sports coming up on this edition of Mornings on the Hill.
Our top story this half hour, it's the last full week of classes. I can't believe it.
Me neither. And one thing that comes with the end of the semester is deadlines. Our Michelle Houston joins us live to tell us how SU students are working to meet them.
Thank you so much. Well, it's that time of the year again. That's right, the course evaluations, end of the year projects, and the one thing we all dread, finals. So what are students doing to prepare themselves? Well, Syracuse University senior David Gilstrap says he's just getting everything out of the way.
It's gonna get done anyway. So it's like, there's no need to be like, oh my God, how am I gonna do it? Like, I know I'm gonna get it done. So it's just putting my mind to it and getting it done in the end.
Some students get right to it, while others take it one day at a time.
I'm really just trying to do something a little bit on each project every day.
And some wait until the very last minute.
So Bird Library suddenly becomes packed. People pull all-nighters crazy. Energy drinks sell out.
Graduate student Brandon Williams says it can be hard to get through it all when you're stressed out.
It's hard, it's up and down, but part of my demeanor, I'm just relaxed anyway, so I kind of really just use that to help me get through. I'm gonna do what I can and everything else will fall in place.
Sophomore Peyton Campbell says enjoying the weather and doing some yoga helps her relieve stress.
Take it easy, I guess. It's the best time of the year when it gets warm again, so spend time outside and just try to find little things to relax and just reward yourself.
Gilstrap says students should put some me time on their agenda.
Just find your vibes and make sure you plan out time to de-stress yourself while you're studying for all the stuff you gotta handle.
So Bird Library is not the only place that gets packed. Literally anywhere there's a seat and a power outlet. So definitely take the time to find a nice place to study on campus. Reporting live, I'm Michelle Houston for Mornings on the Hill. And now our Sam Carter is live in studio with more stress buster tips to help you cope with the pressure.
Thanks so much, Michelle. Good morning, Syracuse University. Now, like it or not, it's that time of year again. It's finals season. And as Michelle told us, for a lot of students, the projects and the stress are piling up. And there is a rush to try and get everything done and study for finals, but it can be overwhelming. Now, recently, I had the opportunity to sit down with members of the Office of Health Promotion to find out how you guys can beat the stress of finals. Now, the first thing we covered was time management and how important that is. Now, mental health and wellness peer advisor Allison Donor says prioritizing what's important is the key to time management. Now, they suggested getting a planner like this one and writing down everything you need to do. Now, this will allow you to see what you got to do and sort it out. The next piece of advice seems counterintuitive, but it's to take breaks. You got to hang out with your friends, play a video game, anything but school. So Donor says that people will be in Bird for 6 hours trying to grind it out, but really what they're doing is just spinning their wheels and not getting anything done. So take breaks, okay? And the last and most important thing I picked up was pretty simple. Get some sleep. Donor says a lot of students will try and cram the night before, and this can have negative effects on memories and thusly test performance. So try and get at least 7 hours of sleep a night. There's also going to be a great stress-busting session put on by Orange After Dark on May 5th in the Shine Dining Center. There's going to be games, masks, and a few therapy dogs even. So that starts at 10 p.m. and you should try to check it out if you're, of course, feeling the strain. Reporting live, I'm Sam Carter for Mornings on the Hill.
Thank you so much, Sam. I'm definitely gonna have to take some of those into consideration.
For sure, especially the dog.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Time for another check on your weather for today.
Our Kylan Watson is live outside on University Ave to show us what to expect.
Thanks, Abby and Kayla. Okay, guys, it's the last full week of the semester. It's Wednesday. The week is winding down, and what's going on for most of us here in Syracuse is everybody's getting ready for Block Party and Mayfest on Friday, and the weather is looking a little wet for that. Tomorrow's going to be 66 degrees for the high and a low of 48 degrees, mostly cloudy with a 10% chance of rain, so that may be your best opportunity to go get a last-minute outfit for Mayfest and Block Party, because on the day of, there will be an 80% chance of rain and a high of 56 degrees. We get a break from the rain on Saturday, a high of 49 and a low of 37, but keep those umbrellas and hoodies handy, because on Sunday, there will be a 40% chance of rain and a high of 50 degrees and a low of 38. So while most people may be heading to the Dome on Friday to hear Khalid, what they may be singing before and after the concert are hits that we've known since we were little kids, like Mr. Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, Please Shine Down on Me, and Rain, Rain, Go Away. For morning, like the great philosopher Tigger once said, TTFN, ta-ta for now. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Kylan Watson. Back to you, Abby and Kayla in the studio.
Thank you so much, Kylan.
Yes, Kylan.
It sounds like all of that rainy weather might put a damper on some of our weekend plans.
For sure. If you plan on going to Mayfest this weekend, you might want to bring out those rain boots. Like Kylan said, rain won't go away. But there are a couple of things that you also have to bring.
If you plan to come to Mayfest, you're definitely going to need those tickets. Undergrads, you can get in with a student ID. Grad students, you've got to purchase a ticket before the event. Also, if you plan on spending time in that 21 and over section, you've got to get some of those famous drink bracelets to be allowed in to partake in those of-age activities. And if you do plan on drinking this weekend,
don't be stupid. I mean, that's another thing, is that I think a lot of people will take the opportunity that they have. It's a wild Friday or whatnot, and you're supposed to have fun, but you can have fun without doing stupid things and ruining it for other people maybe in your group.
And for more information on rules regarding Mayfest, check it out on the University Union website.
And with all of these activities going on, students are probably wondering where they can or can't park on campus.
Absolutely. There will be some restrictions that students need to be aware of. Walnut Place and Walnut Avenue will be closed to all parking on Friday.
There will be open spots at the Harrison and University lot. Additionally, if you see a no parking sign, SU is asking all drivers to just obey those requests. Coming up here on Mornings on the Hill, find out why the Office of Health Services is urging students to remain calm after announcing that one of our students is being treated for tuberculosis.
Also coming up, you probably already heard who the next SA president will be, but if you didn't, she'll be joining us today to discuss her plans for the upcoming school year. Stay with us for those stories and much more here on Mornings on the Hill.
Welcome back. The Syracuse University College of Law has entered an agreement with 3 historically black colleges and universities.
The 3 schools are Morehouse College, Clark Atlanta University, and Spelman College. The 3+3 program will allow students at those schools to finish their Juris Doctorate degrees on an accelerated track at SU Law.
Students we talked with are excited about the project.
For both those 3 undergrad institutions, as well as for Syracuse Law. Something that I truly appreciate about all of it is that provides an opportunity for students that know they want to pursue law to do so.
Williamson says he is excited to welcome the new students that will come to SU Law because of this new agreement.
A recent email has been sent out by the university taking precaution to a possible spread of a disease.
A student of the university is currently being treated for this diagnosis, and SU wants to be sure other students are aware.
This email is telling students to be watchful for tuberculosis after a student is being treated for it.
Even though doctors say this isn't something to be too nervous about, SU encourages students to visit the University Health Center to get checked. It's always good to make sure that you are avoiding any type of sickness.
And a recent disorder that may be affecting your loved ones is being investigated by doctors.
Doctors are looking at a potentially new eating disorder that could be more common than people think.
This disorder is called orthorexia, meaning an obsession with healthy eating. Working out and eating healthy is important, but too much of a good thing can be problematic. Orthorexia is more prone toward athletes, and even though it's not officially recognized by the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, doctors are saying it's on the rise. Syracuse University nutritionist Jessica Redmond says, just like any other eating disorder, you don't want to take it lightly.
Be careful that that doesn't progress into something more obsessive, and it can, and so that's where someone who's trained to kind of be aware of some of those warning signs, it's really important to have that sort of constant assessment just to make sure that they're not tipping more towards the side of an eating disorder or more into that obsessive sort of orthorexia eating pattern.
Redmond says it's always good to eat healthy, and this includes also adding carbs to your diet as well.
I'm Landon Wexler, and we're joined this morning by Student Association President-elect Mackenzie Martikas. Mackenzie, you and Samia Saeed have won the Student Association presidential election and all that. It's exciting stuff, isn't it?
Very exciting.
Absolutely. Now, what are a couple of things now, once you guys start, what are the first things you guys want to do?
I think the first thing is definitely just sitting down and talking to the current Student Association members and kind of creating like a culture and an environment that is welcoming, that is productive, to just make sure that we're doing as much as we can for the students. And then once we do that, it's sort of like taking our first steps and working on initiatives that we said we were going to work on in our platform. So working on our SU job ops revamp is something that's our first priority, and we'll definitely be doing some work on that over this summer.
Right, absolutely. And now, this is one heck of a responsibility. Being SA president of the school, that's a huge one. Now, what made you want to take on that role?
So I think just really seeing all of the amazing work that's been done through past administrations, working with Angie, Patty, and James Franco, and then Gufran and Kyle this year, I think really just opened my eyes to see all of the amazing things that you're able to do in this position, and all the things that you're able to improve, but also just working on different initiatives, especially like mental health, and being able to focus more on that and make bigger changes on that on campus is something that I really wanted to do.
Understood. And now, you were the chief of staff of Gufran and Kyle, of their session. Yes, there we go. Session as president and vice president. What have you, you must have learned a ton. What did you learn from them?
Yeah, so I think that's honestly a very unique experience for me to go as from chief of staff to president, because I've seen everything behind the scenes and I've sort of seen what their roles have been over the year. And I just seeing their dedication, all of the meetings that they have to be going to constantly, just looking at their calendars is insane. Right. And just learning from them on how to be in this position. And to work with people, administrators, students, just being in sort of the spotlight all the time is something that I really learned is it's a good experience, but also it's something you have to learn to deal with. So I think that's something that I learned from them. Also just their pure dedication, this is a full-time job basically.
Right, absolutely.
So that was something that I was ready to accept for next year. So that was, yeah.
It sounds like a lot to take on, but it sounds like you're ready for it, right? And then now you're a double major. You're public relations with Newhouse.
Yes.
You are poli-sci with Maxwell and minor, and you're with Relay for Life. A lot going on there. How do you think you're going to handle all this pressure and all the responsibilities and all that?
Yeah. So next year is definitely going to be a year that I'm going to take a step back from a lot of the other organizations that I'm a part of, which is definitely going to be hard because I've been doing Relay for Life since I was in 7th grade. Traditions Commission, which plans homecoming and winter carnival and stuff like that, is one of my favorite organizations on campus, and I'm going to have to take a step back from that. And just really everything else, it's going to be sort of removing myself and putting my main focus on SA and being SA president. and then finishing up my public relations like classes and stuff like that. I only have to take like 12 credits each semester, so it shouldn't be too tough, but it's definitely going to still be a lot.
It'll be a lot. It'll be a lot. Yeah. But there's a lot, I think there's a lot to look forward to, right? And one of the things I think to look forward to is you're going to be the one that's sending out emails like, oh, free Duke tickets for this and get your like different testings and things like that. So how do you think you're going to be able to handle students being like, oh my God, that's the SA president? How are you going to handle that?
Yeah, I feel like we've already seen that already in these past few weeks. It's sort of weird, like seeing your face everywhere and like being asked for all these interviews and people like sort of know who you are all of a sudden. When I already sent out my first like school-wide email, I think last week about cabinet applications, like I had like so many people emailing me back and like, it was like, it was so crazy. It's like, wow, like now I'm like sort of like the face of like the student government here. So I think it's really just like being like approachable to people because I want students to be able to come up to me and feel like they can like say anything that they want to say about like this school or any problems they see on this campus. So it's something that I'm actually like really looking forward to, like being like that face and that person that people feel like they can come to if they like have anything that they need or want to see changed on this campus.
Right, and I think it's an honor to say the least, right?
It is.
And now this, with every cool part of the job, there might be some challenges here and there. What do you think are some of the challenges I think you guys see?
I think it's really just going to be balancing everything. As SA president, you sort of like do a lot of like the administrative work, going to all of the meetings, but I also definitely want to be more involved in like initiatives and working on events because that's something I've been so passionate about over the past few years. So I think it's going to be balancing that out, but also just I think improving SA culture and SA in general and making sure that it's more visible to the student body is going to be one challenge that we're definitely going to face and that people in SA have faced over the past few years. So I think that's something that we like have to overcome, but it's something that I think it's definitely possible.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Mackenzie.
Of course.
We have a lot to look forward to with you and Samia running the school.
Thank you.
So, for Mornings on the Hill, I'm Landon Wexler.
Good morning, I'm Daniel Booth with your Mornings on the Hill Orange Sports Update. The lacrosse regular season is over, and that means it's time for playoffs. The Syracuse men's and women's teams battled all season to get to this point, and now they're ready to play for all the marbles. In the first round of the ACC tournament, the number 7 ranked men's team is set to take on the North Carolina Tar Heels. Syracuse has been climbing up the national polls all season, and their impressive resume will be put on full display against Chapel Hill tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. As for the women, they're going to put their number 4 ranking on the line against Virginia. 7 of the 14 wins for the Orange have come against ranked opponents this season, and against Virginia specifically, who they beat by 5 back in early March. The game is scheduled for today at 2 p.m. in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts. Spring has sprung, and that means students have a chance to get out of their stuffy dorm rooms and enjoy the nice weather. There are plenty of dog owners who use this opportunity to walk their dogs. And as we all know, with all that life throws at us, it's difficult to find time to exercise. But what if I told you taking care of your pet is a great way to live a healthy lifestyle?
I used to be really into working out, but college, obviously, it's kind of hard with the schedule.
Being a dog owner is a big responsibility, and that responsibility can lead people to living healthier lives.
I have a husky, and she is incredibly energetic, never tired, and in order to have peace in the house and to make her happy, I have to take her out 2-3 times a day.
Going on walks and playing in parks are great ways for dogs and their owners to exercise on a daily basis.
If you don't walk with this dog, then they're going to be feeling bad, staying inside. So I have to take care of her, and it kind of helps me take care of myself.
Building relationships with other dog owners can make taking care of a dog more fun.
I go to the women's building, and there's a bunch of other dog parents there, and it's a way to make new friends and have our dogs play.
A lot of students and faculty come here to get their daily workout in. But why would you go to the weight room when you can have a pet?
A lot of people jog with their dogs. They have special hookups for bikes, where you can actually go biking with your dog.
According to Dee Schaefer, families come to the CNY SPCA to adopt dogs who fit their active lifestyles.
We have a lot of families that come in because we're so close to the Adirondacks that like to hike.
Being physically active is only part of the relationship between dogs and their owners.
Dogs are awesome for being motivation to get up and go outside and do something. They're great companions. She makes me so happy.
Having a dog can provide comfort and emotional support to anyone in need.
I had thoughts of dropping out or maybe taking a break from law school, and my doctor recommended that I get an emotional support animal. So I got her, and ever since then, I feel more motivated.
If you're looking for a friend and a workout buddy, contact the CNY SPCA for information about adoption. You can visit their website at cnyspca.org or call the number at the bottom of the screen. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Daniel Booth. Still to come here on Mornings on the Hill, we'll tell you about a different type of pet that doesn't have fur or 4 legs.
Welcome back. With graduation coming up, you're most likely looking for the perfect gift. Maybe you're looking for a new phone or a trip or even a pet.
A pet sounds pretty cool, but our Fernando Garcia Franceschini joins us to tell us about a different type of pet you probably haven't thought of.
That's right, guys. When I thought of pets, I usually think of dogs, cats, or even hamsters. But recently, I learned that pets can be more than just animals. And spoiler, these ones don't need to go to the vet. Houseplants are the new pets. That's what an article in the Greenhouse Grower says, and you might wonder, how is that possible? Well, here in central New York, Tim and Lisa Ballantyne are loyal believers of that concept.
Plants make people better people.
The article says people have become more interested in houseplants because of their many benefits. Tim says this is precisely what makes them great pets.
They calm people, they relax people. They add oxygen to the air, they take out impurities from the air. They do all this while not having to be taken to the vet, not having to be vaccinated.
In 1989, NASA released a study naming some of the better plants to have in your house.
So first on the list is this is a snake plant.
Strong and sturdy.
Another wonderful plant for taking out impurities in your home would be an anthurium.
NASA calls them flamingo lilies.
If you notice that the bloom itself, it's kind of waxy, so it doesn't drop petals. It's very easy to care for.
This is a spider plant.
Easy to grow.
One of the other big benefits of owning a house plant is that it makes you want to care for something.
Having something to care for, something to tend to. We all need a purpose in life, and it helps to enhance that purpose, I think.
And Lisa says it's a special thing.
You are bringing something into your life and into your home that's alive, it's living, and it needs you.
So now I have my very own house plant. I still haven't named it. So we went to Twitter to ask you guys what you thought should be the perfect name for this pet. And the winner is Fred. So world, meet Fred. Reporting for Mornings on the Hill, I'm Fernando Garcia Franceschini.
Thanks, Fernando. I'm Olivia Proy, and here's what's going on this weekend here on the Hill. On Friday, students will celebrate the end of the semester at Mayfest with free drinks, food, and entertainment. Saba, Weethan, and Adult Mom will be performing at the event. There will also be a silent disco, carousel, ball pit, and much more. The event is free to all SU and SUNY undergraduates with your student ID. Admission is $24 for graduate students and guests. Tickets are on sale at the Shine box office. Later Friday night, singer Khaled will be headlining the university's annual block party. Opening acts will be from DJ Rico Nasty and Kenny Beats. Pre-sale tickets are $25 for general admission and $20 for the first and second and third level general seating. Saturday, there will be another concert at Westcott Theater. Animal Years will be performing at 8 p.m. Doors open at 7. Tickets are $10 to $15. And on Sunday, Earth Fest is an annual Earth Day celebration put on by student groups. Thank you so much, and that's what's going on Sunday. I'm Olivia Proy with Weekends on the Hill.
And that'll do it for us. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Abigail Fridman.
I'm Kayla Burton. Have a great semester and good luck to you guys for 2018.